So in this question, we're told that this straight line is reflected across the x-axis. So I'm going to rewrite this in the slope-intercept form. So move 3y here. And this becomes 11/3. Now, honestly, I always forget the faster way of doing these reflection questions, so I just go back to the basics. I mean, certainly, if you've done enough of these, you might be able to do them directly very quickly. But let's start with how I originally approached this. So I like to qualitatively draw this out. And we know y-intercept is 11/3, so it's going to be somewhere here. And then slope is positive 1/3, so it's going to be something like, again, approximately. Now we're going to reflect this across the x-axis, so think of that as the mirror. And so the reflection would look something like that. Since in a mirror, the points are in the same distance from the mirror on both sides, so the y-intercept of this line, new line, reflected line I should say, is minus 11/3. X-intercept remains the same, and in fact we can find the x-intercept from the original equation by setting y to 0. So that becomes x plus 11 equal to 0. X-intercept is minus 11. So this point is minus 11, 0, which remains the same. So now we know the x-intercept and the y-intercept of this new line. We can use the intercept form. Now, as I said earlier, there are many ways to do this question, and I'm just sharing with you what came to my mind originally. And this is a useful formula too, where a0 is the x-intercept, b0 is the y-intercept. So I simply plug in those values. Minus 11/3, this is 11/3 equal to 1. So if I multiply cross with minus 11, this is going to become x plus y over 1/3 equal to minus 11, because this would become plus here, and this would become 3y. So that's my equation, which if I rewrite this in slope-intercept form, this would be minus 1/3 x minus 11 over 3. So m, if I compare it to the standard form, the slope is minus 1/3, y-intercept is minus 11/3. They're asking for the sum of these two, which is minus 12 over 3 equal to minus 4. Answer choice C. So this may not seem like the fastest way of doing it. The faster way is that if there's a point here, x comma y, then the corresponding point on the reflected line is x comma minus y. So all we do is to replace xy with x minus y, and that's the equation of the reflected line, and you'll notice that's exactly what this was, just the 11 moved to the other side. So this is clearly the fastest way of doing it. But I think, it's just a matter of how familiar you are with the material. Sometimes I've forgotten things and I might go back to the basics of kind of doing it the long way. But if you're doing enough of these questions, then you are more efficient. That's just how it works. So to recap, the answer here is choice C.